I am here. Good morning, Chase and the Equitarians. Can you hear me?
I can. Thanks for jumping on the call, man. We appreciate you.
I just wanted to go over a couple things just about as, we hear all the time, you and everybody else, the top producers on there about running this like a business. You really have to. I've only been in the final expense world for about 4 years. I've interviewed hundreds of potential agents to hire and have hired dozens of them. And the one commonality that I find with a lot of them is I always get the agents that come in and always start off the conversation with, I'm going to be your number one agent. And that to me is like the kiss of death. 100% of the time I've been told that, especially within the first 5 minutes of talking to somebody, there is not a single one of those people that still work with me. And it's not because I've got rid of them. It's because they've just completely fallen away. I always take it a little bit as an insult because I'm more than capable of looking at a leaderboard and seeing if you're number one or not. And typically, they're not. This is a results-oriented business as far as taking leads and going and seeing people. It's the more people you see, the more results you're going to get, and hopefully they're good ones. But, again, oftentimes I get people who make huge claims. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Let me tell you about the last 40 companies I've worked at where I was number one, and, I'm not looking for another job. So whatever reasons you've had before, whatever companies you've been to, none of that's in my business, nor do I care. Just, let's see what you can do here. And then, I'll start getting the phone calls, hey, these leads suck, these people aren't home, there's this, there's that. There's always these billions of excuses why they're not number one. And the other company I used to work for, people used to say, oh, these leads, I'm getting all the bad leads. These leads are bad. So my response to that was, well, we all get bad leads. That's our job here is to take bad leads and turn them into good customers. I don't have any special access to any leads that you don't, nor do any of the other top producers. We put in a request, leads come in, we go out and sell them. It's pretty simple. We get the agents that try to, do some crazy algorithms and they go, okay, well, this person is 51, therefore I will not knock on their door between 9 and 5 because they will not be home. Oh, you don't know that. Go knock. If you go there a couple times, during business hours, they're not home. There's no car in the driveway. Nothing's changed. Go see them on the weekend. But you're not going to know that until you go and knock. Remember, we're dealing primarily with lower income people, lower income families, and a lot of them retire early. They are on disability, and oftentimes they are home. I mean, I've knocked on people's doors for 50-year-olds at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and they're in their pajamas, like I am right now. And, you never know. Go knock and find out. Also, you're running a business. So to run a business, it's a full-time business. I saw a little meme on Facebook yesterday. It said being an entrepreneur doesn't mean you work part-time, nor does it mean you work full-time. It means you work all the time. So if you're trying to run a business, you're claiming you're going to be number one, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you're working 2 days a week, you're not going to be at the top of the leaderboard. And if somehow you are, you're probably doing something illegal. I don't want to know about it. But when I was pounding doors full-time before I started doing any kind of managing or recruiting, my schedule was Monday through Saturday and one Sunday a month. I always worked the last Sunday of the month. That was my schedule, and I was able to consistently produce, average about $21,000 to $23,000 a month doing that. I say this every time, does that make me better than everybody? No, I was just willing to work harder than most people and put in more hours than most people, take more leads than most people. If I had gone all day and got door slams and didn't write a policy, I didn't go home until I wrote a policy. There's times I've got on my car, started driving home, and said, you know what? One more door. I'm going to go knock one more door. Drove back, knocked one more door, and any top producer here will tell you that one more door philosophy works, and it works quite often. So I just want to touch on some points without making the call too long, that if you're running a business, run your business. Don't make up excuses. Don't blame everybody. Don't blame the league. Don't blame the economy. Don't blame that Jupiter's not lined up with Venus. Those are things you have no control over. The things you have control over is your business, your time, and what you put into it. And the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. I want to piggyback on what Tom said because he mentioned the phrase or the word entrepreneur. And, I mean, that's what we've talked about for quite some time. And you hear it mentioned on calls. You heard Eric talk about it, treating this as a business, running it as a business on the last national call. Eric opened the call up. He did a great job. We heard from many of you talking about how much you loved him being on the call. And he talked about that, running it like a business. And Mark Cuban has a quote saying, you know, work like there's someone working 24 hours a day to take it all from you. And one of the things that we talk about on one-on-ones, Joe talks about it. I know I've heard Tom talk about it. Our managers, whether it's Josh Jones, David Lloyd, whoever, they're talking about. I remember listening to Bill Miller on a call one time talk about, you know, scheduling out how many days he puts here, what he does to allocate his time here. When you merge all those together and you have a Marie Titus, or you look at the top of the leaderboard and you see the consistent producers, they're not doing this on a part-time basis. They are eat, sleep, and they are breathing their business, and that's why they're growing, and that's why they've reached the level of success that they are, because they don't treat this as, man, I could do this 2 days a week, I could do this 1 day a week, I could do this 3 days a week. It's full force, it's pedal to the metal, because there's not much of anything in this world that you can go 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and really reap the full benefit of all that you could get out of it. So I appreciate Tom jumping on. We've got a hand raised, and I am fired up that he has his hand raised. Mr. Joe Chacho's got his hand raised. Joe, your line's unmuted. Go ahead.
Good morning, Chase. Good morning, Tom. I just wanted to add something. I was on the call listening to Tom, and what I'll tell everybody on the phone is that everything Tom said is 100% correct. I had the pleasure of meeting him, breaking bread with him, visiting with him at the home office. He's even come down to Tampa, and we've actually hung out together. I want you guys to really listen to the stuff that Tom says, and, you know, Mercury lining up with Venus, there's certain things you just cannot control. And what you got to sit and think about is that you have to decide where you want to be. You got to decide where you want to go. And what ends up happening is that we let the little bad guy on our shoulder tell us what to do. So my thoughts is to factor in the points that Tom made. You have got to be in control of your attitude. You've got to be in control of your destiny. And what I hear everything from Tom is that he's got the eye of the tiger. Knock on one more door. I'm going to knock on a door if they're 51 years old. I've heard this. I'm not going to do that there. You do not know the results of an appointment or an application or a door knock until it's over. Do not sit and pre-read pre-read a lead and think, well, the way they wrote, they may not be home. Because of the age, they're probably not home. If you're driving by, it's going to take you, let's say, 3 minutes, stop your car, knock on the door to do what you got to do. Now, you do not know anything until after you do it. And the more that you do this business and the more consistent you are, the better you will be. Today is Friday, the 23rd. You've got today and tomorrow, which is 2 days, and you got 5 more days next week. You've got 7 days for you to get your mind set and ask yourself, am I happy with the production I'm at this week? Am I pleased where I am at? Have I asked for enough referrals? Do I need to tell Chase to give me 3 more leads for next week? Do I go on the Equita website and purchase some of the bonus leads or XSA leads that they have discounted at 50% to where I can get in front of people, whether you make a sale or not, you're practicing. And also you can ask the person, since you sent this card, is there anybody that I can share this information with that I can possibly help out? Take control of your destiny. Understand, to be like Tom, you got to follow Tom. Don't sit and try and reinvent the wheel and do things a different way. My thought process is that I'm going to follow somebody who's already done it, and made the mistakes. So I'd rather be on somebody's coattail making big money than trying to decide a different way to go and not make the money that I need to make, having to go through all those hips and valleys. So with that said, again, Tom, very nice job. Chase, that's it. And everybody have a great weekend. 7 more days till the end of the month.
Thank you, Joe. And guys, we'll leave you with this. You want to listen to the audio, we're going to have it up on EFES University. I recommend that you go back and kind of listen and search for, if you want to touch on some of this topic about scheduling, you can use a keyword in EFES University for scheduling. Scheduling out a week, scheduling out my month, scheduling out my day, whatever it may be. You can search those keywords in EFES University. It'll pull up all of the audio that's related to those words that you search for. And I'll just, I'll throw out there a quote to you real quick. If you can't stop thinking about it, don't stop working for it. Invest in your dream, grind now, and shine later. I appreciate each and every one of you guys jumping on the call, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend with friends and family, and we're here if you need anything at all. Thanks, guys.